Hello and welcome back to LOK. What did we do last time? It was this B word, wasn't it? BE or ebb. Is there actually a way to tell whether it's BE or ebb? How does that work with the conductivity? Like, is there? Hold on. So with the conductivity, you go into the X and you turn, but that could work either way, right? Yeah, like whether it was EB. Did we ever actually use the BE with conductivity? I mean, it might get used here, I guess, in these advanced ones. I don't think we ever did it. Yeah, it's possible we did not, which is interesting. I think I decided I'd skip over the advanced ones and go to the next chapter and see what that's like, and then come back and do those. I think that'd be fun. Yeah, the only reason I was like actually saying ebb before is because I was confusing it. I thought it would be difficult to tell what I was saying. I'm saying the letter B and the word B at the same time. So I was like, oh, if I say ebb sometimes, that will make it clearer. But like, does it ever matter? Does it ever matter? With all the rules I know so far, does it ever matter? Possibly not. Like, does it matter whether it's tlac or count? I guess not. Can't quite decide. And also, like, yeah, right now it's like, I think it's ambiguous whether it is BE or EB. Anyway, let's not focus on that too much. Hopefully it won't be important. Let's move on to chapter 6, and I'll come back to those advanced puzzles afterwards. So, transportation, or, I mean, with a train, but then what's this? This is the Wi-Fi symbol. Why? Are they queuing? They're going on the train. Some more track over here. Then what's that about? Is that a queue? I don't know what this thing is. And yeah, I don't know how the symbol ties into it. To solve the next puzzles, you must become conscious of a rule that wasn't obvious before. What? Become conscious of a rule that wasn't obvious before. So it's a rule that's already existed, and I've just not known about it. Okay. Tlac. LOK. Oh, interesting. I don't know if this is that interesting, actually. TL into the X, turn, go down here. AK. Oh, no. I'd have to go around this bend. AK, that would get rid of the tlac. I guess I'd fill in... What would I fill in? Oh, okay, this could be interesting. Let's do it with the plastic sheet. Which has bits of stuff on it. Let's just wipe that. Okay, it's just got dust on it and stuff. So, if I just did TL, went into the X, well, can I do it with just LOK first? No, because the A's in the way, right? So this is to get rid of the A. So then I can't go into the A and turn, so I have to go around this bend, but that's fine. Turn in each of the X's, and then go out this way. Okay, and then I get to shade in two things. Which two things would I want to shade in? LO. Well, this has got to get to the... Wait, but the K's gone. The K is gone. Can't use the K again. Huh. What does that mean? Unless we're using tar, because we're going to have to get rid of the x's at some point. Right? So I'm going to have to do a tar, at some point during this. Otherwise, how are these x's going? Because with just a tlac and a LOK, that would cover how many things? 4 plus 6, 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 12. Okay, so there's more to this than meets the eye. How could this work? I can't jump over the gaps, can I? Because I do see a LOK there. LOK. Get rid of something. What would I get rid of? The L. Tar. Get rid of the x's. Oh, that is totally what it's going to be. So I can jump over the gaps. Whoa. And I guess that's just never been a thing in a previous puzzle. Put this down. Oh, they've been really careful to make it not a thing? Whoa. I guess in most cases there weren't gaps like that. But yeah, sometimes there were. So they must have been really careful about it. So it looks like maybe adjacency works across the gaps. Let's check the next puzzle to see if that's still the case. That's pretty interesting. Oh yeah. Well, that's one way to make it clear. Whoa. Okay. All right, so we should basically try and confirm that, I guess, with these puzzles. So obviously I can see that I must have to cross the gap here, so it's obviously going to involve doing that, but let's just see if it works here with what I'm assuming is the case, that adjacency works across these gaps, like from the A to the K, from the A to the D. Okay, so what do we have here? I guess we have a tlac to begin with. What does the word B do? Oh, it lets me write down a letter, yes. Okay. So tlac, maybe fill in the 2 blanks here. Then we have a tad. What's the tad for? Oh, tar. Tar is fill in all the spaces with the same letter. So tlac, fill in maybe the 2 blanks. BE to fill in a D here. Tar to fill in the 2 Ds. That makes sense to me. Okay, I'm going to assume that is the rule and go ahead. That's pretty cool. I like how it's set up to make you think, oh, well, I can do a tlac here. So that must be what I'm doing. But then the K's used up. That's a nice little setup. Okay, so what's actually going to happen is LOK across the gap here. And then I'm going to get rid of the L, is it? Yes. And then tar through the X's to the A. Yeah, that's fine. And then the tar gets rid of all the X's. Very cool. I do like that rule's just been there the whole time. I haven't been able to use it, but in theory I could have done. It's pretty cool. Okay, so this one was, what was it? Tlac first. Tlac. To fill in these 2. BE. To fill in this with a D. Then tar. To get rid of all of these. Neat. 50. Oh yeah, I should probably say at some point, the presentation of this is super nice. I love just like the kind of the minimalism of like the numbers and the puzzle below them and the 3D effect on the puzzle and the little pictures at the beginning of the chapters. It's really nice. It's super well put together. I was thinking, why didn't I solve these? It's because they were unsolvable ones. Okay. So, 50. We can cross the gaps. Oh my gosh, there's a gap there and a gap there. Well, V, that's not... Is that a V or is that a U? Either way, it doesn't matter, right? I don't have any words with those letters in. Yeah, either I'm crossing that or that, but it's unlikely to be that because of the letter. So Instead, I mean, what words do I have to begin with? I guess just B. B-E. Okay, so with B-E, I can add a letter somewhere. I could do tlack, B-E, tlack. That's probably not what I'm going to be doing, but let's do it anyway. Then do tlack, which lets me fill in 2 more. Oh yeah, this will work. This does actually work. Okay, cool. So this is teaching me about slime being on both sides of things. Actually, I was thinking between recordings that it's probably supposed to be ink instead of slime, because there's like a pen and paper world, and there would be ink on the paper. But whatever, I'm calling it slime. So I think this works. B-E tlack. Fill in these 2 from the tlack. Then we have tar going across this way, so we can go through the slime, jump the gap through the slime to the A, and get rid of the V. Ta-da! Very neat. Okay. I wonder if the words backwards are something. Kalt, isn't that cold in German? Is it spelled like that? I think it might be spelled like that. And then tar is at. That's a word. Not in German. B, ebb. I was going to say both of those are words, but the ebb that I'm thinking of is 2 B's, isn't it? E-B-B. Like the ebb and flow. Anyway. So, I don't think there's any hidden words in this. But who knows? Maybe there will be. Okay, now we've got X's. X's really make things complicated. What words do I have to begin with? I mean, there is a B, but there's also a tar, and that's probably the trick of this puzzle, is realizing that I can start there. Are there any other things? There's no LOK because there's no O's. So I might be writing an O at some point, but I also might not be. Oh, I totally can see that we're going to be jumping this gap through the connectivity, doing a LOK like this. I'm going to be putting an O here at some point, right? So does the tar come later to get rid of the X's? So B-E-O, LOK, to get rid of, not the A, maybe this blank space up here, and then tar. I think that works out, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that works out. So what was it? B-E to do O up here. L-O-K, that works out. I'm turning in the X's. Let's get rid of that. And then tar, yeah, that's fine. L-O-K. It's so weird that I can now use that as a word. They seem so separate from each other and just in a random arrangement, yet it still works. L-O-K to get rid of this. And then tar across this gap. I thought the trick there was going to be that I have to do the word that's less obviously there to begin with, but no, I actually did at the end. Get rid of all the X's from the tar. Beautiful. Whoa, okay. Now just have a square-shaped grid. This one looks interesting as well, 53. Anyway, 52. So, what words do we have? Do we have anything going around the outside at all? I don't think so. B, tar, tlack, LOK. Got some X's. Although there might be some weird things, right? Like, I might jump across 2 and X. Where are the X's? X there. So those X's are opposite each other. I'm not just like jumping from a letter to an X. And those 2 X's are diagonal from each other. So those 2 are just to get around the corner. These 2 are to switch sides while using a word along the edge. So is there a word there at all at the moment? So I could go like from the L into the X across and then out to the top or to the bottom so that I can go in all those different directions. Whoa. Okay. There's no LOK right now, right? I mean, I could just try each word, right? L, I can see no O to get to from there, even if I jump across the gap or use the X's. L, I see no way to go from there to do lock. Okay, so tlack. Tlack can work. TLX across AK. That's probably where I'm starting. Let's just look for the other words as well. Tar, no. Tar, no. Nope. And then BE, well, there are no B's and E's. Okay, so we are doing almost certainly. Should I do it on the plastic first, though? Possibly. Try to make sure I use the side that I did not put marker pen on. It's this side, okay. So it's going to be TLAK. Get rid of what? The X's? Or maybe not. Maybe we're reusing them. What would I want to do next? Interesting. Well, getting rid of the X's in the corner seems bad. Probably at the end I want to do a tar to get rid of the X's. How's a tar going to work? I've got one T left. It's not going to work, is it? Oh, unless it goes through here. Yeah, so like if I shaded those two at some point, it could be now. Or also we can, I guess with flat we can shade in two things opposite as well. So eventually there's going to be a tar, for sure. But before I do that, I probably want a lock. So how's the lock happening? L. How is that going to get to an... Oh, okay. Maybe I'm shading in K and U, and then with the lock shading in the S. That makes sense. Yep. So, in fact, let's just do it with the pencil. I'm pretty sure that's correct. So, what was it? It was black. Shade in 2. And I'm going to do the K and the U, right? Yes. Because the K allows me to lock at the bottom to fill in the S, so I can do tar later. But in the meantime, I've got rid of the L, O, and the K, which is ideal. Get rid of the S from that lock. Let me do tar around this corner. Get rid of all the X's. Fantastic. Really neat. Okay, so now 53. 53. So obviously there's this situation, but I can also jump across that way as well, horizontally, which is kind of curious. So maybe that'll happen at some point. Maybe I'll put an X in here and I'll be able to jump across in all sorts of directions. What can I do right now? I can do a lock here. Can I do a tlack anywhere? I don't think so. An L in there would allow me to do a tlack. That being filled in would allow me to do a tar. With a BE as well, actually. Interesting. Ooh, this is definitely one that's going to require the plastic sheets. Also, it's so nice that it came with a plastic sheet to do this with. Okay, so let's just imagine we start with the lock. I'm going to guess that's wrong, but we'll start with the lock. What would we want to fill in? This, so we can do... No, that wouldn't let us do a tlack. Or I guess there's B as well. So we could do tlack quite early. How's this L going to get used? That L can jump to that O, but then can go nowhere. Curious. This feels like it has a lot of paths it could go down. And do we want a tar at some point to get rid of the X's maybe? That's always handy. And we've got B. Whoa. Yeah, what's going to happen with these two? That's the mystery right now, I think. I mean, they could just stay blank and I fill them in at some point. So lock, fill that in. We've got tar. We've got B. Don't use the Oh. There we go. B to fill in L here. Slack to fill in these two. But then the L's going to be left behind. I've got tar to get rid of the X's. I could cover up the L, but then there's a blank left behind. There's no way I'm doing like a L. How would I get to the K? I wouldn't get to the K, would I? K's all the way over there. I don't know how to start with this one. Where do I even get my initial idea from? That L is weird. Either like I'm covering it up with a lock or a slack at some point, or it's going to be part of a lock. I just don't see how that could ever be part of a lock. I can get to an O, but I can't go anywhere from there. I could put an O there, but then we'd be stuck. I could put an X there, turn, put an O here, but then what? Put an X there, turn again, and end up with a T. That L is going to struggle to connect to anything. Unless that L goes and it's actually LOK that happens. Would it really be that? I mean, it's possible. Is it possible? But then I just get rid of that L at some point. I'm only trying to do that because it seems like such a complicated thing to do. Lock. Also get rid of that L. But not get rid of the O and the K. How would that work? Get rid of that L by doing another lock or a slack. I mean, so I could start with B, L, slack, but I can't get rid of that. Oh, actually I could get rid of that and that. But then I can't put an X there. If I'm thinking of putting an X there, I'd have to have used the B to do it. So, and then I've got all this stuff down here because I've got tar. Oof, complicated. This L, what's going to happen to you? I mean, so yeah, the other option is that I just rub it out, but rubbing it out without it being an additional benefit other than rubbing it out, it always feels bad. So if I just do a lock and rub out the L and don't get anything else from that, like adjacency or anything, then it feels like a waste. Slack. Yeah, covering it with slack also feels like a waste. But then maybe it's just the tar is hitting the L's. Unlikely. Because there's two X's to deal with as well. How else could you be connected to stuff? That L. X, X, no. There's no slack that's going to involve that L. Is it going to be part of that? How would that ever happen? I have to end up with an X there. Let's just imagine we did that. So to get an X there, we have to do this. What's going to happen at that point? How's an L going to end up there for slack? It's not. Well, then maybe it's not. Maybe it's two tars. And we use one tar to get rid of K's and one to get rid of something else. Feels unlikely, right? I mean, right now, the only other word I can do is this lock down here. So that lock kind of has to happen, right? Is there a word I'm missing somewhere? A-L. T, whatever this would be. Another option is TXLXAK. Feels unlikely. What did I just do? Lock, so I guess I'd have to scribble something out. So I could do that and get a tar. Feeling quite unlikely, isn't it? Scribble out all of these to get another tar. To scribble out all of the X's, and then I've got an L and a K left over. Not great. So am I really thinking this lock has to happen at the beginning? Like, what else could happen? LO, BK, X's are not really opposite anything, they're in corners. These are opposite each other, but that's blank right now. So it's lock or B. And the B doesn't change what I can do with the lock at all. It just adds another letter in somewhere. It does mean I could do clack before I do lock if I really wanted to. Do I really want to? Like, that would mean doing this and putting that in there. Then I can do tlack, like maybe disrupt the lock that's here for some reason. I guess like one option is that I'm getting rid of the O and the K. No, I'm not. I think I can make another tlack, but the K's gone. Surely I'm putting an X there or something, but why? Surely that's the purpose of the B, E, rather than to make a tlack here. But then I don't know. I do not know. Because yeah, how else is this going to go? Unless like I'm using tars to get rid of blanks and L's and K's and O's. I don't have that many tars. Maybe I can make that many tars. No, I've got 2 T's and I can only add one letter. I could add another... Okay, what other letters could I add with BE? I can't make another BE anywhere because it would require adding both a B and an E. I could add... Is there anything I could add that would do something interesting? Except the L. Like an X somewhere, but T connecting to L doesn't seem useful. I could put an L here, that's not useful. L connecting to blank's not useful. Well, hold on. No, yeah, I was thinking I can put an X there and then do tlack, but I can't do tlack because I can't put an L there. And then I was thinking I'd cross those two out and do lock like that. I don't know if that would even be useful. And do tar. Whoa, I just see lots of options here and not a clear way to decide which option is the one I want to take. Let's just do lock. Let's do the simple thing. Lock, and maybe get the tar immediately or not. I guess there's 2 tars I can get immediately. Why would I only use a tar straight away? I wouldn't. So then BE, L, slack, we'll get rid of 2. L. There's no way I'm making like a tlack in a loop or something. So I can get rid of 2 right now. I've got 1 tar, so I can get rid of the X's. Yeah, I'm just left over with 1. That L up there is a problem. That L up there is a real problem. If I put an L there, I won't be able to attack it any other interesting way. Like, this gap feels suspicious. But why? If there were an X there, I could do tlack if I could get rid of the O and the K. Do 2 tlacks, potentially. But then I can't do that tlack if I've not put an L there. But is that the trap, putting the L there? Like, it looks like the obvious thing to do, but... In fact, let's just do that. The obvious thing. BE. Put an L here. Then assume that we're doing that. Is there any solution from here that would work? Can I rule this out easily or not? I feel like I can rule it out, but... There's no way I'd be able to finish... Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's no way I'd be able to finish that off from there. That's my reasoning. Good, solid, logical reasoning. So what am I using this BE for? I'm clearly using it for something, like getting rid of both the B and the E would take a lot of work without just using it as a word. Something to do with this L. Like putting an X in. That's what I keep thinking about. Putting an X in the corners tends to be kind of useful. LOK, fill this in. Because like you're not really adjacent to anything useful. Then tar, fill in the blanks. What does that do for me? I've got this L still. I've got another tar. I've got an L and a K. If only I had that O left over. But I used that O as part of a LOK. Could I use that L as part of something else? I can't both do a LOK that's like that, and also do a tlack that's like that. That would be a lot of stuff. And in fact, it would be impossible because like each one of them requires me to have shaded in cells that I need for the next word. Ooh, this one's tough. And the thing is, maths isn't going to help that much because of the fact I've got tars. I've got potentially 1 or 2 tars. Maybe I should just be doing the obvious thing of putting the L in there. If I do, okay, just do that again. If I do, what am I doing with that? Two things to cross out, what would they be? Not like I can do that and that, or do stuff across. I don't see that helping. I might be stuck on this one. Maybe I should just like come back to it. What does the next one look like? Oh, we get the advanced ones. We are. Uh-oh. Okay, let's give it a little bit more thought. Across gaps, what can I do? L to A. That could be part of a tlack. But it can't be, because I can't turn on those. So no, L to O, B to K, E to nothing, blank to nothing, blank to T. That could be filled in with something. It could be an A, we could do a tar across that direction if we wanted to. So like, let's try that. Let's go B, E, put an A here and do tar, fill in the blanks. This doesn't feel great, does it? Then LOK. No, there's so much left over. I need to use more words. I need to use a tlac and with all these K's and yeah, LOKs and tlacs need to happen, I think. But like that T could be used with that A. That K could, in theory, be used with that L if all this were filled in. But I don't think I can get to that stage, right? Like the state of the A's gone. So let's do L, OK, and get rid of that, then do a tar. Oh, but the O's gone, yeah. But I guess I can put an O in, but I can't put an X in. I only put one thing in. So the O would still have to be there. Which ain't gonna happen. Am I overcomplicating this? Maybe. Oh yeah, I don't know what letter I want to put. B, E. That L. What do I do with you? You can only be part of a LOK or a tlac. Or I can like use a tar to get rid of you. But that feels wasteful because there's only going to be one left. So no, you're going to be part of something. I just don't get how. Are you going to be part of LOK or tlac somehow? Because T, L, X, A, K. Oh, that's an option. Am I really doing a huge loop like that? So B, E. To add. So we've got the letters. So I actually just want an X here, right? This could be it. Tlac. And then we're going to do LOK to fill that in. Now we have like an extra tlac. And then we've got how does this work? T, L, A, K. That X still exists, so don't forget about that. And so there's that one. A, K. Fill in two things, do tar to get the X. Oh my gosh. That's not an advanced one? That should definitely be advanced. Whoa. Okay, so what was it? It was BE to put the X there. BE, put X here. LOK to fill in the blank here. Then we have the tlac go all the way around here. So this is not part of, oh my gosh, what a horrible trick. T into the X turn, L into the X turn, cross the goo into the X turn, AK. To fill in these two. And then tar here. Still the X's. Whoa. Okay, I'm glad I finally got it, but wow, that was complicated. Very neat. I might make it a habit of just like, let's not do the advanced ones and go straight to the next chapter, and we can come back and do the advanced ones at the end. I think that'd be quite nice. I quite like seeing what the next rules are. So I think we'll do that next time. We'll go straight to chapter 7, will it be? Oh, don't get too far ahead. No. Chapter 7. Okay. See you next time for that.